Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I, Atharva Kalse from Indo Science Education Trust, welcome you all for this 22 weeks long webinar series for Bharat Ke Paramveer, that is stories of Paramveer Chakra holder by veteran group captain Shrikant Walwadkar sir. We have started our session from 15th of November, and it is going to be on every Sunday at 5 p.m. So initially today we are going to talk about our first Paramveer Chakra holder. So I would request Walwadkar sir to please start today's session. So thank you all. Handing over to you, Walwadkar sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my viewers. I welcome you from Sangli on the second episode of Bharat Ke Paramveer. I am from Sangli, Group Captain Shrikant Walwadkar. My number and email address is given below. You may like to contact me. Let's start our journey for this Sunday. As per our custom or my values, 21 Paramveer diamonds of India in the necklace of our Mother India. We pay respect to them. Now, starting with this, the summary of Paramveers, 21 Paramveers, I wish to educate you on this. First War of Pakistan, 1947-48, 5 Paramveers were awarded with this Paramveer Chakra. First was Major Somanath Sharma, posthumous. He martyred on 3rd November 1947. Lance Naik Karam Singh, we are fortunate that he was alive. He returned from the actions for his bravery on 13th October 1948. He was awarded Paramveer and he received it from the President of India. Second Lieutenant Rama Raghuba Rane on 8th April 1948. He also was alive, returned after the actions, and he received his Paramveer Chakra from the President of India. Naik Jadunath Singh and CHM, Company Havaldar Major Piru Singh Shekhawat, were not that fortunate. On 6th February 1948 and 18 July 1948, they were martyred. And while fighting with the enemy, they made supreme sacrifice and were awarded Paramveer Chakra, the highest gallantry award of India. In the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in Congo, 1 Paramveer was awarded. Captain Gurubachan Singh Salaria, he was awarded posthumously. On 15th September 1961, he laid down his life for the well-being of our country. The name should be, he was in the United Nations Peacekeeping Force, the only officer of Indian Army who received Paramveer Chakra for this bravery from Government of India. In Indo-China War 1962, 3 awardees were there. Major Dhan Singh Thapa, he was alive on 21st October 1962. The way he fought, the way he led by his own example, he was awarded Paramveer Chakra. Subedar Joginder Singh and Major Shaitan Singh, posthumously on 23rd October 1962 and 18 November 1962, they were awarded Paramveer Chakra for their bravery. Second Pakistan War 1965. If you permit me, I would like to say first defeat of Pakistan 1947-48, second defeat of Pakistan in 1965. 2 awardees, CHM Company Havaldar Major Abdul Hamid, posthumously, and Lieutenant Colonel Ardeshir Burzoji Tarapur, posthumously. On 10th September 1965 and 11th September 1965, gap of 1 day, but different locations. I wish to mention that this program is dedicated to the unsung heroes of Indian Armed Forces who made supreme sacrifice for the safety and security of our India, and mainly their family members whose sacrifice, suffering, unfortunately never gets a simple mention. So this program, the entire 22-week episodes are dedicated to the family members and those unsung heroes. Unfortunately, their bravery was never less, but could not be recognized. We live by chance, we love by choice, we kill by profession. Officers Training Academy, Chennai, where the Short Service Commission officers are trained. This is the quote there. And you will see all these 21 Param Chakra awardees have lived this. They have lived this by chance. We love by choice. Our love is India, Indians, and tricolor. And we kill by profession, because if anybody is trying to be funny with my Constitution of India, with my India, with my Indians, my job is to kill them. Third Pakistan defeat of 1971, which is called as Bangladesh Liberation War also. 3 awardees were there. Out of them, 2 were posthumous. Lance Naik, Albert Ekka, on 4 December 1971. Flying Officer Nirmanjit Singh Sekhon was the only Air Force officer awarded with Param Veer Chakra. His bravery on 14 December 1971 at Srinagar Airfield. And Major Hoshiar Singh, fortunately, he was alive. He came back from the actions and received the Param Veer Chakra for his bravery on 17 December 1971 from the President of India. Operation Rajiv, that is Siachen. Siachen operations are called as Operation Meghdut. And within that, there was an Operation Rajiv. The number of awardees, 1. Naib Subedar, the then Naib Subedar Bana Singh. We are fortunate he received the award for his bravery of 23rd May 1987 from the President of India personally. And he's still alive, though retired. Armed forces people never retire. They change the innings. They are as active, as dynamic as ever, and they try to make the second innings also as meaningful as it was the first innings. 7th operations, IPKF operations at Sri Lanka. 1 awardee, Major Ramaswamy Parameshwaran. He received posthumously for his actions, bravery in Sri Lanka on 25th November 1987. I was very fortunate to be part of Operation Meghdut and Operation Pavan, that is IPKF Operation Sri Lanka, during my first innings. 4th Pakistan defeat of 1999 Kargil War. 4 awardees. Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey received it posthumously for his bravery on 3rd July 1999. Young officers, this is what I keep telling the youngsters. The young people, young boys and girls, you are very, very precious to us because you're the property of my nation. You are the energy of my nation. You grow, my nation grows. Grenadier Yogendra Singh Yadav, youngest at the age of 19, he receives Gallantry Award, highest Gallantry Award, Param Veer Chakra, for his actions at Tiger Hill on 4th July 1999. Rifleman Sanjay Kumar, for his bravery on same date, 4th July 1999, received Param Veer Chakra, and fortunately for us, both of them are alive and still serving in the Indian Army. Captain Vikram Batra, we were not fortunate. He received the award for his bravery on 7 July 1999, posthumously, and we lost him during this operation. Again, reminder, this program is dedicated to the unsung heroes of Indian Armed Forces who made supreme sacrifice for the safety and security of our India, and their family members whose sacrifice, suffering never gets a simple mention. Let's move our journey. Today's hero, the first Param Veer Chakra holder, is Major Somanath Sharma during his bravery in 1947 with Pakistan's first defeat war. The coincidence. Last episode we have seen Mrs. Savitribai Khanolkar was the one who designed the Param Chakra, and her daughter's brother-in-law, Major Somanath Sharma, was the first one to receive this award. What a coincidence. The right side statue of Major Somanath Sharma is at National War Memorial at Delhi. Whenever you go there, please pay your respect. This is like a Tirthasthan. You go to various places to pay respect to the gods. These are the gods for India. Major Somanath Sharma. Let's see his background. Major Somanath Sharma, first recipient of Param Chakra. He was born on 31st January 1923 at Dad, Kangra district of Dad in Punjab province during British Raj and present-day Himachal Pradesh. He came from a well-known military family. You'll be surprised to see almost everyone was in army. His parents, father was retired as a Major General Amarnath Sharma, was a military doctor, AMC officer. He retired as a Director General of the Armed Forces Medical Services. Mother was a homemaker, and what a home she made. His maternal uncle, Captain K.D. Vasudeva, also served in the same battalion as of Major Somanath Sharma. Of his two brothers and two sisters, Lieutenant General Surinder Nath Sharma, who is called as Tindi, retired as engineer-in-chief, was married to the daughter of Savitribai Khanolkar. His second younger brother, General Vishwanath Sharma, retired as Chief of Army Staff during 1988 and 90. He was leading the Indian Army. And one of the two sisters, Major Kamala Tiwari, was a medical officer from Army Medical Corps. Her husband was an officer in the Indian Army and retired as Major General from the Army. His second sister, Manorama, was a homemaker like her mother and got married to an army officer who also retired as brigadier. So entire family, two brothers, two sisters, their husbands are from the army, Indian Army. What a pride this family and the Indians should have for this family. Schooling from Sherwood College, Nainital, and joined Prince of Wales RMC. Now it is called as RMC, Dehradun. He was called as Somi. Somi was 1 year elder to his brother, who was called Tindi. But when his father was sent for a medical course to London, both of them were given admission at Mussoorie. And Somi was, both of them were together put in one class. Major Somanath Sharma, or Somi, and Lieutenant General Surinder Nath Sharma were compatible to each other in the sense that younger brother was very much interested in mathematics and education and academics, while Major Somanath Sharma was more interested academically on history and general knowledge. Otherwise, he was well-built and a sportsman. So when younger brother was being bullied by the seniors in the school, there was understanding between the two that Somanath Sharma will protect him from these seniors, and in return, Srinanath will prepare the homework, and next day morning, Somi will copy it down. So compatibility was so much. Somi was more interested in sports activities. He was also interested in general knowledge and history. So he was greatly influenced by Bhagavad Gita as a result of growing by listening to the stories of Arjuna and Krishna from his grandfather. That was the time when grandparents were so helpful for the youngsters and third generation to translate or transfer the culture of India. He was commissioned in the 8th Battalion of 19th Hyderabad Regiment of British Indian Army on 22nd May 1942. 19 years and 4 months, very, very young. Actually, the training period was cut short because of the Second World War. And these officers who were trained after 9 months, they were commissioned and sent on the border. After graduating from Royal Medical College Sandhurst, he passed out from IMA Dehradun and became second lieutenant. Immediately after, they were sent for the World War II on the front. He participated in the World War II against Japanese forces in Myanmar and saw actions in Arakan campaign in Burma. For his actions for bravery, he was mentioned in dispatches in World War II. The young officers in 99 war, Kargil war also has seen the energy for the benefit of nation, for the protection of nation, is oozing out of these youngsters. He worked under the command of the then Colonel Thimaiya, who later became Chief of Army Staff of Independent India's Army from 1957 to 1961. After independence and distribution of military resources between Pakistan and us, actually independence India got and Pakistan was formed. It was on 14th August. New country was born. As agreed between the newly formed Pakistan and India, 8th Battalion of 19th Hyderabad Regiment was rechristened as 4th Battalion of Kumaon Regiment of Indian Army, Independent India's Army. His moment of reckoning came in the 5th year of service during November 1947, the Battle of Budgam. It is famous, the Battle of Budgam of 1947-48 war. During first defeat of Pakistan, should we say. Let's understand, before we go to the actual battlefield, let me explain the historical background of the first Pakistan defeat. In June 1947, when partition was announced and formation of Pakistan was approved by carving some portion of India, 600 princely states were given the choice of acceding to either India or Pakistan or remain independent. Most chose to merge with the country closer to them. A few preferred to remain independent. Maharaja Hari Singh of Jammu Kashmir decided to avoid accession to either India or Pakistan. Both countries agreed to. So when he decided to be independent, till the decision is taken, there was a agreement between the countries, Pakistan and India. They committed that will not implement any forceful measures or coercive arm twisting measures, techniques to force such states to join them. India followed this commitment in letter and spirit. However, Pakistan failed to honor the commitment as usual. They expected that since Jammu Kashmir was a Muslim majority state, they will join Pakistan immediately after its formation. There was expectation. But since the Muslims of J&K and the Maharaja Hari Singh preferred to maintain status quo, which guaranteed to continue with the existing administrative arrangements till new agreement was made. The delay in Jammu Kashmir decision, as per expectations of Pakistan, was a shock for Pakistan, and in spite of signed commitment to not use forceful means to force accession, Pakistan was becoming restless and was not ready to wait furthermore. In a crafty bid to take over Jammu Kashmir, Pakistan started infiltrating the hill state immediately after its formation. Pathan tribesmen, ex-soldiers, or those soldiers from Jammu Kashmir army deserted. Those who were deserted joined the Pakistan, and support Pakistan army. That is very important. Pakistan army gave a support to these Pathans and Lashkars, and they started infiltrating from Pakistan into Jammu Kashmir. This was a big plan so that they could take over Jammu Kashmir if Maharaja Hari Singh is not able to decide or takes time. We don't have time. And they entered. On 22nd October 1947, Pakistan intruders with its regular army combatants under the disguise of tribals. As usual, they keep doing this, unfortunately, still, had entered Jammu Kashmir and were creating a deadly atmosphere of plunder, loot, rape. In fact, they were motivated to join the forces by telling them that they can do anything they wish to do with the locals after entering Jammu Kashmir. Maharaja's army, led by its chief, that time Chief of Army Staff of Maharaja Jammu Kashmir, Brigadier Rajinder Singh, with just 100 troops, held the Pakistan intruders for 5 days. Remember, what a bravery is this. But realizing that he will be losing the battle and state to Pakistan by sheer number of intruders supported by Pakistan army, Maharaja asked India for support of Indian armed forces to save Pakistan, forcefully taking over Jammu and Kashmir. Upon the Governor General Lord Mountbatten's insistence that India required to the Maharaja to accede and sign the accession document before it could send troops. Legally, it was necessary. Accordingly, the Maharaja signed an instrument of accession on 26th October 1947, which was accepted by the Governor General Lord Mountbatten the next day, that is on 27th October 1947. On 27th October 1947, our Indian Air Force aircraft were ready at Param, loaded, and Indian troops were in the aircraft. And immediately after the signature of Governor General, Indian Air Force aircraft took off from Param with Indian troops under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Diwan Ranjit Rai and landed at Srinagar Airport. This was a big relief for Jammu and Kashmir Maharaja and the people of Jammu and Kashmir. This challenging but unambiguous tasks cut out for Indian Army were firstly to stop the progress of Pakistan intruders, and Army undertake confidence building measures with the local population so that the fear removed from their mind and normalcy is brought back at the earliest. And last but not least, push back the intruders and free the area occupied illegally from them. This includes tasks still with us, POK. On 31st October, Delta Company of 4th Battalion, Kumaon Regiment, led by Major Somanath Sharma, boarded the aircraft and landed at Srinagar. Now, a small story before this. Major Somanath Sharma had injured his left hand, and it was under plaster while playing hockey. He had injured himself. He was told not to join because he is medically unfit. However, he insisted that he wants to be with his troops, with his men, when they go for such operations at least. This is the character of the armed forces officers. And it continues. Remember, like the same attitude you will see from 1947 till 1999. And amongst the unsung heroes also, the attitude remains same. That is the beauty of Indian Armed Forces. On 31st October, Major Somanath Sharma, injured and plastered hand, with his battalion, with his people, landed at Srinagar Airport, and history was under creation. Now let's move to the actual war scene. Battle of Budgam. Young Major Somanath Sharma, aged 24 years, with full of energy and a avid sportsman, had injured his left hand while playing hockey previously, and his hand was in plaster cast. When the requirement to board the aircraft for Srinagar came, for his Delta Company, he insisted to be with his company in combat, and permission was subsequently granted, and here he was in Srinagar Airfield to create the history for India. An input was received that the infiltrators, numbering around 1,000, led by a Pakistan major, were heading towards Srinagar Airport from north, that is Gulmarg area, to capture the airport and the city, thus causing immense loss to the movement of troops, material, logistics support in support of the operation of Indian Army in J&K. Imagine entire operations from India were by Indian Air Force aircraft, and the airport that was available was Srinagar Airport. And entire troops, their logistics support, material, their ammunition, arms, everything was being offloaded at the airport. So this target they had under the Pakistani major decided to capture this. When the news came on 3rd November 1947, 3 companies, Alpha and Delta of Kumaon Regiment, 4 Kumaon, under the command of Major Somanath Sharma, and 1 company of 1 Kumaon under the command of Captain Roland Wood were deployed at Badgam. They were told to patrol the area, to take position southeast, east of the village Badgam. It's just 5 to 6 kilometers from Srinagar. Remember one thing, 5 to 6 kilometers takes just half an hour or 1 hour to reach by walk. So to protect Srinagar Airport and Srinagar city, they were deployed at a distance of 5 to 6 kilometers from Srinagar Airport on the first day of the light. Once they reached there, they started digging trenches for their safety and to attack in case required. They started digging trenches, were ready for any eventuality. As sun rose, the movements of routine nature were observed in the village. They could observe from the hilltops that normal routine is going on. The ladies are working their own thing, then milking the cow, routine things were going on. There's nothing suspicious observed since morning. The 3 companies were located on the hills, hilltops adjacent to the village Badgaon. Task for them was to patrol the area, stop the movement of infiltrators from north towards Srinagar Airport and city, and save Srinagar Airport and city falling in their hands. Today, we can confidently say that today Srinagar and the Srinagar Airport are in India because of these braves. It will not be exaggeration when we say this. Since nothing suspicious or any movement was observed in Badgam, the company of 1 Kumaon was instructed under the command of Captain Roland Wood. They were told to from south east, they should turn left, carry out the patrolling area. If they see suspicious something, then hold on there, otherwise return to Srinagar. They returned to Srinagar by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Alpha company of 4 Kumaon also started its movement by 12 o'clock. They were also told to leave because nothing is happening. We can't have troops here when the necessity is at multiple locations. So they also were told to turn right, carry out the patrolling, see anything suspicious movements, and then hold on there or return to Srinagar. And they also by 1 o'clock they also left. However, Delta Company with the Major Somanath Sharma was told as an extra precautionary measure to remain there till evening or till 3 o'clock and then return to Srinagar because nothing could be expected. The intelligence could be probably wrong. So they were there at till 3 o'clock. They were told to remain there. Still nothing suspicious observed in Badgam. A few villagers were seen gathered in a nala ahead of them. Their faces seemed fearful. About 100, 200 local villagers in the same dress. They were afraid. You could make out that they were afraid of something. Their facial expressions were saying like this. But nothing was happening there. They were just gathered together there. In the afternoon around 1:30 p.m., first shot was fired from village on the Delta Company. Major Somanath Sharma ordered his troops not to respond because and fire towards the village to avoid attacking innocent civilians, ladies, and kids. So he informed his headquarters, I am being attacked and I am not responding because the attack is from the village side. I don't want to injure or kill those accidentally kill them. The Indians, they are Indians. At this stage, it was observed that the people in the Nala were actually the enemy, disguised as locals, were Pathans, and started moving towards the position of Delta Company and simultaneously firing on them. The Battle of Badgam had started. The ratio of people or the soldiers with Major Somanath Sharma, including him, and the enemy was almost 1:7. Almost 700 troops, Pakistan enemy troops, had gathered and started moving towards the hilltop where the company, Delta Company, along with Major Somanath Sharma, were located. Now, the very important thing is, when time is tough challenge the time. Tough people challenge them. When the time becomes tough, the tough people challenge the tough time, and they come with flying colors. Another saying is like this in us, in the armed forces, that it's the tough times don't last, tough people last. So every group of tribal Pathans was led by, so the ratio of 1:7, it was like this. The plan of Pakistan army, we could observe later, was that for every 10 tribals, one regular Pakistan soldier will lead, and for every 100, that is 10 groups of 10 each, one commissioned officer of Pakistan army would be the leader. It was observed that the position of Delta Company was approached from all the three sides by the enemy, and the Battle of Badgam had started. But the strength of Pakistani Pathans was large, and making full use of this, they started putting more pressure by increasing their number further. Soon they were surrounded. They surrounded the Delta Company from three sides and started climbing the hill where the trenches were located. Major Somanath Sharma knew that his troops were meager in comparison to the enemy. He asked the brigade command to send arms and ammunition and extra soldiers to cope up with the attacking number. To keep the enemy engaged till the reinforcements arrived was a very, very big challenge. He was aware that if not engaged for a considerable period of time, the infiltrators can reach and capture the Srinagar air base. He knew that his company will not be able to stop the enemy for long. So it was a challenge for him to keep up his soldiers' willpower. And hence he was in the open battlefield, ignoring his own safety, but boosting the morale of and willpower of his soldiers. That's the job. You lead by example in the Indian Armed Forces. And you have to motivate them. You should be self-motivated and keep moving from one trench to other trench. The soldiers who had survived this operation later told that Major Somnath was rushing from one trench to another, boosting the morale and motivating them to fight with full courage. The courage and determination of these soldiers made the initial attacks by the enemy unsuccessful. The fight continued like this for 6 hours. Remember, 6 hours. They were held up. The enemy was not able to move forward. 6 precious hours to ensure that Srinagar city and airport remains with India, and the operations of Indian Army with the help of IAF continued unabatedly, result into first defeat of Pakistan after its formation. Finally, their ammunition finished. Remember, that's the worst thing to happen. You have enemy in front of you, you need the ammunition, and ammunition gets finished. When they informed the brigade asked them to fall back after getting the orders. Major Somnath went to another trench to help a soldier load his gun. Remember, Major Somnath Sharma's one hand is in plaster, but he was loading the gun of his soldiers to help them fight. This is the relationship between the officers and the Jawans. Everybody in the armed forces joined to serve the nation. In the meantime, a mortar shell came and fell on an ammunition box. There was a big explosion. Along with Major Somnath Sharma, his orderly, and a junior commissioned officer lost their lives. Instantly, they lost their life there. A last message to the brigade headquarters, received a few moments before he was killed, was the enemy is just 50 yards from us. We are hopelessly outnumbered. I will not withdraw 1 inch, but fight to the last man, last round. imagine the tough situation. You don't know whether you'll be alive or not, but the nation is important. The nation, Indians are important. So this is the character which is seen right from 1947. Still, it continues, and that is the biggest asset of Indian Armed Forces. When Major Somanath Sharma was hit and he died, Lance Nayak Balwant Singh and 3 others, what a brave initiative. After their commander was martyred, by sheer number, they were overpowered and the post was finally overran by the enemy. Now, only 1 or 2 rounds were left with every soldier. So this Lance Nayak Balwant Singh and 3 others, they gathered together. They said, okay, hand over all your, whatever ammunition you have left with, leave it, give it to me, give it to us. And you run away from here. As such, you have got clearance to vacate the post and come back. So I will hold these people. Instead of dying, everybody dying, it's better that you survive. I will hold these people. And Lance Nayak Balwant Singh and his 3 others remained there and they started fighting. Now, when the ammunition was over, they came out of the trench and started bonneting action. Now, the enemy was increasing in number. There were about 200, 300 enemy soldiers were killed by these people. However, because of sheer number, they were overpowered and the post was captured by Pakistan army. But it took important 6 hours. The enemy was not able to take over this post at Budgam. The Indian army retaliated with full force and captured Budgam at the early morning of 5th of November. But Fort Kumaon lost their brave hearts. Major Somanath Sharma, Subedar Prem Singh Mehta, and 20 soldiers were martyred during this operation. 26 brave hearts were injured. Major Somanath Sharma was awarded the Param Veer Chakra for exemplary leadership and gallantry in fighting and capturing the Indian post back. Bodies of 300 raiders were counted. After once that post was run over by our enemy, they were so demoralized by the 4 Delta Company of Fort Kumaon, their bravery. So they were demoralized and they stopped there. They did not move forward towards just 5 kilometers. Srinagar airport was there. In the meantime, Indian army got enough time to get together, move forward, and the post was recaptured on 5th of November. That is the Battle of Budgam. Major Somanath Sharma's official citation we must read. It says like this: on 3rd November 1947, Major Somanath Sharma's company was ordered on a fighting patrol to Budgam in the Kashmir Valley. He reached his objective at first light on 3rd November and took up a position south of Budgam at 1100 hours. The enemy, estimated at about 500, attacked his company position from 3 sides. The company began to sustain heavy casualties, fully realizing the gravity of the situation and the direct threat that would result to both the aerodrome and Srinagar city via Hum Home. Major Somanath Sharma urged his company to fight the enemy tenaciously with extreme bravery. He kept rushing across the open ground to his sections, exposing himself to heavy and accurate fire to urge them to hold on. Keeping his nerve, he skillfully directed the fire of his sections into the ever-advancing enemy. He repeatedly exposed himself to the full fury of enemy fire and laid out cloth strips to guide our aircraft onto their targets in full view of the enemy. Realizing that casualties had affected the effectiveness of his light automatic weapons, this officer, whose left hand was in plaster, personally commenced filling magazines and issuing them to the light machine gunners. A mortar shell landed right in the middle of the ammunition, resulting in an explosion that killed him. Major Sharma's company held on to the position and the remnants withdrew only when almost completely surrounded. His inspiring example resulted in the enemy being delayed for 6 hours, thus gaining time for our reinforcements to get into position at Hum Home to stem the tide of the enemy advance. His leadership, gallantry, and tenacious defense were such that his men were inspired to fight the enemy by 7-to-1 ratio. 6 hours after this gallant officer had been killed, he has set an example of courage and qualities seldom equaled in the history of the Indian Army. His last message to the brigade headquarters a few moments before he was killed was, "The enemy are only 50 yards from us. We are heavily outnumbered. We are under devastating fire. I shall not withdraw an inch, but will fight to the last man and the last round." Legacies, cultural legacy. There was an episode, various episodes of Param Chakra on Delhi Doordarshan. So Param Chakra in 1988. First Param Chakra serial was on Major Somanath Sharma. His acting was done by none other than Farooq Sheikh, and it was covered Sharma's action of 3rd November 1947. This serial was directed by Chetanand. Rashtraya Swaha. Idam Rashtra Idanna Mama. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. Thank you very much. I have finished. God bless you. Remember, everyone should have, somewhere you should have 100% faith. My faith is on Tiranga. I appeal to the youngsters, to every Indian. Put your hand on your heart and say that my faith is 100% on Tiranga. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.